Welcome back to Lunch at the Loft, and our program is about to become very serious. My good friend, Bud Graske, is going to elevate Lunch at the Loft to a new level. Our first official actual chef as a guest on our program.
No, I'm not a chef. I am an experienced home cook. I'm not a chef. Merriam-Webster defines chef as a professional cook who's run a professional kitchen. So I have never been a professional, so I'm not entitled to be a chef unless you're going to surprise me with a check for this appearance.
Well, if you're paid.
Yeah, if I'm paid, then I could be a chef.
Thank you for correcting me on this, because I would have called every guest a chef. I'd called the guest a chef.
Okay, well, missed it by that much.
Okay, wow. To tie it into Akron, we're talking about L.A., and it's not Lower Akron, and it's not Los Angeles. We're going to talk Louisiana Cajun cooking, and what we're making today, correct me if I'm wrong, is the Cajun jambalaya.
Yes.
What do we have today?
That's exactly right. We're going to make as close to authentic Cajun jambalaya as you can do in Ohio, basically. But I have found a provider of the sausage, which is vitally important. Mm-hmm. It's called andouille. It is a heavily smoked pork sausage, and we have photos here. Now, this is what it looks like before cooking. Now, it is fully cooked. So, I mean, you could pick it up and just eat it out of the refrigerator, and
sure.
I have done that. What I do is, and I've got a photo of it we can insert later, is I cut it into coins like this, about 1/4 inch, and then lay the bottom of the pan with it, and then turn up the heat. And what you want is a crust like this, because that caramelized meat adds such a depth of flavor to the... So if you just put this in with the stock and the rice and so on, you're going to get kind of a bland soup. But if you actually brown the meat, you get such a depth of flavor, and that's what the Cajun jambalaya is based on. So Cajun jambalaya, lots of people talk about Cajun and Creole cooking when it comes to Louisiana food. That's understandable, but there is a real difference. The Cajuns were way out in the boondocks. They were out in the bayous. They were hunting and trapping, and everything they did was very much rustic. Creole actually is a French word meaning the first generation from immigrants. So Creole cooking refers to the French and then the Spanish moving into Louisiana, and then their children would open restaurants, and it would be French cooking with a twist, with a local twist. For example, in French cooking, you have what you're called mirepoix, which are aromatic vegetables. And it's classic. It's onion, it's carrots, and it's celery. But you can't grow carrots in Louisiana's sandy soil. So they substituted bell pepper. So instead of the carrots, you've got onions, celery, and bell pepper. And that was a gift from the Native Americans down there. But what they do is they call this in both Creole and Cajun cooking the Holy Trinity of cooking. Onions, bell pepper, celery, and garlic is the Pope. And you'll find it in all kinds of cooking. But the Cajuns tended to do very rustic dishes, whereas the Creole is much more refined. You'll find kind of French-style sauces. That's where you'll find pieces of blackened fish with a very shishi cream sauce and so on. That's really Creole cooking. This is Cajun. This is stick to your ribs, just went out, been on the shrimping boat all day, and you want something hearty.
Describe your tie-ins to New Orleans, and you like to be there. You go to Jazz Fest. You're there several times a year now?
No, generally just once a year. Okay. But my wife and I will go down for a couple of weeks. Sure. And we have very good friends down there. I've got a very, very good friend who is an honest-to-goodness chef. His name is Kevin Belton. He's an Emmy Award-winning TV chef and had his own restaurant, has a series of cookbooks, and he's all over YouTube and Create and so on.
Here. Describe this. What's in the cookbook here?
This is all Louisiana recipes, New Orleans kitchen. He's published 4 of these books. They were done as companion books to his TV shows. Wow. He had 4 series on the New Orleans PBS TV station.
You got to go down and see his TV studio at one point when he was.
Yes,
they're a little nicer than what we have here in beautiful Akron, Ohio, right? But.
Well, they have a lot of grant money down at WYES. But so if you were to Google or search for Kevin Belton, Belton, his shows are terrific. He's done about 100 of them. Very funny. Well, you've met the man.
Yeah.
And he's a real showman. Oh, yeah. Very funny. Great recipes. And like you, he's somebody who has enriched my life as a friend because he's just one of the nicest people in the world.
Thrilled that you are here. Thanks for that. Well, let's talk about what we're going to get into in preparing this, the jambalaya. And it takes 40 minutes to prepare the rice. And you can't have that going on. There's an order to how all this goes when you go to do it.
There is an order to do it. So what you want to start out with first, and I've got some stills if we can cut them in later, sure. Is I take the coins of andouille. By the way, andouille is very difficult to find. We native Ohioans live sheltered and deprived lives. We're from the land of artificial smoke flavor added. And we just don't know what we're missing. Down in Louisiana, they have smoke houses where they're using hickory smoke, and they'll put a piece of sausage in there for 3 days. And it looks like the place is on fire. There's so much smoke coming out of it. And it's a depth of flavor that we're not used to if you've only ever had supermarket sausage. So, but this is, little plug, this is from J&J Foods at the Cleveland West Side Market. They actually smoke sausage the old-fashioned way, and their stuff is terrific. They also do some wonderful jerkies. If you like jerky, that is Jerky Central. But you have to get up to the West Side Market to find it. Enough plugs. So you start with the sausage, and what you want to do is my mother would say, you want to burn it. You want to get a good crust on it, at least on one side, to get that depth of flavor. And then you pull it off, and you'll see all this crusty stuff left on the bottom. There's another photo we can insert later. Then you take the chicken. I don't have any raw chicken here. And you dump that in, and you just brown the chicken, and all of the little scrapings will come up and flavor the chicken from the sausage. Then you pull the chicken out. You throw in the Trinity. Might as well give the recipe here now. It's 2 pounds of sausage, 2 pounds of chicken, 2 cups of onion, and 1 cup each of bell pepper and celery, chopped up like I've chopped up the onion. Now, I tend to use the orange and the red bell pepper. You can use the green. You can use any color bell pepper you want. I just think this adds a little color to the dish. And for people who've never tasted it before, I'll use all red bell pepper because they'll see red pepper and think, oh, it's hot. Then they get to find out, no, I've just played a trick on you. Cajun food and Creole food does not have to be hot. There was a point back in the 80s and 90s where how hot could you make it? It was a fad.
Right.
Just like we had gone through how hot can you make Szechuan food? Oh. And how hot can you make Mexican food? It doesn't have to be hot at all. If you like heat, you can add it.
Doesn't have to be hot to be good.
Doesn't have to be hot to be good. As a matter of fact, you make it too hot. There's even too hot for me. I like it hot, but there's a point where you can't even taste the food anymore, and that's nuts.
Before we go to break, let's describe how we bring it. How does it all come together with the other ingredients?
Right.
And the
Okay.
rice and all that?
So you saute the meats, then throw in the vegetables, like 2 cups of onion, 1 each of the bell pepper and celery, and then a quart of stock. And you get that up to a boil, and once you get it up to a boil, you reintroduce the meats, both, and you put in the garlic and the seasoning. Now you salt and pepper it to taste. I like to use, because I'm lazy, there's jarred garlic that's already chopped and kind of in a oil-based dressing, and you can just go in and I just grab a tablespoon of this, plop it right in the pan. You have to do it in the pan once you've got the stock in. You never want to saute garlic because if it scorches, it's really nasty. So this is one thing you do want to boil, not fry. And then some Cajun seasoning. And this is a good one, Zatarans, there are all kinds of Cajun seasonings. And again, you season it to taste. So you put that all together, and then you add the rice. Now to that much meat and vegetables, you use 4 cups of, and I would only use long grain, whole grain, brown rice.
And you were saying you have to cook the rice. It cooks for 40 minutes.
Cooks for 40 minutes.
After everything else is done.
After everything else is in the pot. And yet everything else has been cooked by that point.
Sure.
But you put it in with all of the liquid, and you've got a quart of stock, but these vegetables also shed a bunch of liquid as they cook.
Sure.
So that you've got enough to cook 4 cups of long grain brown rice. Now, yeah, you could throw in, one of the instant rices and be ready to go in 5 minutes. Don't invite me over if you're going to do that, because the long grain brown rice is worth the extra
I've heard
time.
Of wine snobs, but if you're a rice snob, is that a thing?
That's me.
You're
Yeah,
a rice
I'm
snob.
a rice snob. I like the long grain brown rice. It's got a nutty flavor. It stands up to the bolder flavors.
All of this you do, and I've been to your house and you're such an excellent cook. I can't say chef. I think most people watching would be okay if I referred to him as chef, but that was a very interesting. I can't do it. It's not allowed.
It's not
proper.
It's not been earned.
I see.
It's not been earned. I've
Out of
never run a
respect for actual chefs.
for actual chefs.
I got
And
you.
seeing what they go through. My friend Kevin ran a restaurant. It's like, I believe in working for a living, but I would not want to be a chef at a professional restaurant. Those people work.
Yes, they do.
So
Speaking of work, you have done the work of putting this all together for us. And thank you for describing, and we got to see the pictures and video of it all coming together there. And we're going to actually do the taste testing magically.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're going to come back, and it's going to be ready because we made it.
through the magic of television.
Magic of television. We're going to do the Feed My Crew segment. This has been Lunch at the Loft. We're having a great time with my friend Bud Graske here in the studio. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for watching. Stay with us. We're going to do Feed My Crew right after this. We'll be back. Welcome back to Lunch at the Loft, and here with my good friend Bud Graske. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in and make jambalaya.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
You did a little bit of pre-production, so let's, through the magic of television, we have miraculously, this has been simmering right here as we were bantering and as you were explaining
Exactly
what
so.
goes into it. You had it going over here.
So what you do is you've got all of the materials in. You add the rice, give it a good stir to make sure the rice is covered in the broth. Bring it up to a boil, and then lower it down to a simmer. And what you want to do is just if you pull it up, you can hear blub, 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 blub a little bit, and let it go for 20 minutes. At the end of 20 minutes, open her up and turn it over. So you just want to turn the rice, make sure everything's cooking evenly, and cover it back up, let it simmer another 20 minutes, and you have dinner.
You talked earlier about tricking us with the red pepper that I see that you get some color and so. This is not a spicy hot.
It is not hot at all.
It is.
It is not hot at all.
Safe for all audiences.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So while this is, we got a couple of minutes before this is ready to serve for the Feed My Crew segment. Mm-hmm. We have hungry crew members looking at us with a great deal of interest. And talk a little bit about what you've been up to. And You had the the invite, come to New Orleans and live here, and Chef Kevin is like, come down as often as you can. But you grew up in Northeast Ohio in the Cleveland area.
Oh, absolutely.
You love Akron. You love being here. What do you like to do in Akron to stay busy?
Oh, well, Akron is, this is home. I mean, I do love New Orleans. I also love Scotland. I love every place I've visited. But I've been very fortunate. But this is home. And I love the change of the seasons. I love the national parks, the national park in fall. I live not far from the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. So in the fall, we've got the colors. In the spring, there's the explosion of greenery that comes. In the summer, we've got the Cleveland Orchestra at Blossom, which is...
You like to go sit on the lawn. You like pavilion or lawn?
I like pavilion. Okay. As a matter of fact, here's a little... Not a lot of people know this.
Lot parking. I don't know.
No.
You don't need
but B, you can get the really close-up seats in the pavilion as close as possible to the orchestra for the same price as lawn tickets.
Oh, wow.
And I like to go and watch the musicians sweat.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fun. I love to do that. So we go to Blossom. I love winter. And, we've got grandnieces and nephews. We take them sledding. And I would miss the change of seasons.
Sure.
And I've been on business in Louisiana in August. No. Not for me.
Akron ain't so bad.
Akron ain't so bad. You think it gets hot and humid here? Go down to Baton Rouge in August, and
I went through, everything that's going on. It's been a little out of touch. So I don't know if you've had a chance to do any other community theater or any. Back in the day, this is how I invited you for a lot of reasons. I knew you'd have fun with this. We're having a great time, and I knew this would be phenomenal. But also, you like performing and being on stage, or you going to Weather Vane, you like going out to shows and all that?
Actually, I've gotten involved with a company of actors. We call ourselves the Silver Lining Players. Uh-huh. I've actually got roped in to being on the board.
I knew this would go somewhere if I asked.
Yeah, and so we're a bunch of over 50 actors who are banded together to try and have some shows where we could have a chance at a decent role.
What is the name of this group again?
The Silver Lining Players. We just did a run for both at Weather Vane in their Dietz Theater and out at Stowe of 12 Angry Jurors, and that went over very well. We're looking for a home, but it's a bunch of very, very talented people, and me, and we're trying to put this theatrical group together because in a lot of cases there is just no opportunity for more experienced, shall we say, actors to find roles. So we're choosing venues and properties that have some roles for us old farts.
Sure. I know people that if you want to perform, you might have just even start your own TV station if you want to be on TV, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Sure. Well, speaking of, we're going to try to pay the bills. Maybe if this whole venture could make some money, paying the bills involves taking a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to do the much anticipated Feed My Crew. And we're going to do that right here on this stage. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay with us. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to Lunch at the Loft, which is now my favorite segment, Feed My Crew. And we have a great crew here at WAOH, including my good friend Aaron Coleman, who has stepped up to the stage here to try the jambalaya. So the moment of truth.
Let's get it.
We're going to bring it right off of the cooktop over there. This is Feed My Crew. Here we go.
Da 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 da.
Looking forward to it.
Oh,
Wow.
that looks good. That'll be great.
You know, it's my actual first time having jambalaya.
Really?
I've had a bunch of different Cajun food over the course of my life, but I've never actually had jambalaya until today.
I'm thrilled to be here for this moment for you. This is going to be great.
So this is, as I said, a rustic dish. So here is how you plate it.
That's the action shot. That is the money shot right there. Okay, now it looks hot. It looks delicious. What are we doing? What are we adding here? We got a little Cajun?
A little Cajun seasoning from Zatarain's right here.
All right.
Yeah, that's got a little kick to it.
Now, can you handle a spicy? I mean, normally you like hot and spicy.
I do, yeah. Not anything crazy, but just like something that'll, wake up the taste buds a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
The salt grinder?
Old salt grinder there.
Grinder? All right, bud, you get to jump in and see how this works. Let's see how this works. Yeah. I think we gotta there. Now flip it over and rip the heck out of it. Now, you're doing a little media advanced editing training earlier. Now we got advanced salt shaker operator training. There you go. As it turns out, this is not feed my crew. This is now roast my crew. So he gets a good roasting. There you go. Okay. Well, now hold on. I didn't. You gotta sample it right here on camera because I haven't rigged up the camera at the table yet. No, you just gotta run and hide in like the cat that hides in the corner.
Oh, let's see.
There you go.
It's hot. Watch out.
This is
good. Thank you.
all right.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it.
There it is. The rest of the crew, stay right here because we need a little more. It's just the credits footage is what we'll do. We'll have it roll. This has been a great time. Thank you so much for doing this. This is, well, just to wrap up here, how many could you feed with this? I mean, that's a pretty healthy helping. Right
Yeah,
there,
this will feed 8, 10, 12 if you're stingy.
Okay. Well, that's what it takes to put this show together. I mean, we've got sound, we've got the lighting guy, we've got the director, the assistant director, 3 camera people.
Yeah, they're drooling into the equipment over there. You're going to have a short if we don't feed them pretty soon.
Right. All right. This has been Lunch at the Loft. My good friend Bud Graske has come down and put on some jambalaya. And as we're wrapping up here, should I take one? I should just dig right in? Is that
Absolutely.
Is that appropriate to just jump right in here? We're going to leave with the closing credits and rolling graphics and all of that as I just help myself. There it is. Dig in.
See, when you help yourself, you can always dig for some of the good sausage.
I did that. You noticed.
Yeah, I noticed you. Yeah, you took all the sausage off the top. Yeah.
Sausage on the program.
You guys lose out. Sorry.
With that, yeah, here we go. And we're going to close right here on this shot. There it is. That is delicious. Oh, my gosh. Now I'm talking with my mouth full, which happens on this program a lot. Thank you for watching. This has been Lunch at the Loft. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sampling. There it is. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.